Hey guys, it's Russell back, and this is the very first video in our Mercedes Bring It Back from the Dead series. First thing we need to do is we need to start the car. Again, as I told you on the introduction, this car has not been started in 5 years, since 2013. It does have the Amsoil synthetic 1540 in there, so I have no doubt that it will turn over if it can. So, I found the key. Let's go start it up. Uh-oh. Do we have a dead battery? After 5 years of sitting? Come on. What kind of junk is in there? Alright, let's go check it out. Alright guys, so I suspect the battery is, well, shall we say, rather discharged. So I'm going to go ahead and lift the hood up. And if you guys don't know, there are these levers on the Mercedes that allow you to lift the hood up for service work. So I'm going to do that. You just bring that down, pop that up. Okay, there we go. There. Now the hood goes almost vertical, so you can have easy access to all of the engine. So here's the battery, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my multimeter and I'm turning it to DC volts 20, just like that. I've got my two leads, and to check a battery's voltage, it's very simple. I'm going to take the negative to the negative and the positive to the positive. Alright, so let me see if I can show you guys this. Zero volts. Alright guys, so here's the up close to the to the battery. The voltage readout, and there is no voltage. I've never seen a battery that had 0 volts. But in all fairness, it's been sitting here for 5 years. And it's not been started in that long. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to go to our friendly AutoZone and grab a brand new battery. The Mercedes batteries are very easy to take out. If you're not working on a Mercedes, whatever car you're working on, whether it's gas or diesel, just be very careful. Disconnect the negative terminal first, then disconnect the positive terminal. I'm going to show you there is a rather large amount of corrosion on the terminals. And what I like to do is just take some baking soda and some vinegar and pour on that. It will bubble the corrosion away. And hopefully I'll be able to get these two nuts loose to disconnect the cables. Then we will pull this old Energizer out, and then we'll see actually how old it is. We'll look at the date code. Alright, so I found the baking soda, and I'm just going to take this and I'm going to dump it on the terminals like that. Don't be afraid to use a lot of this. It's cheap. Then in here I've got white vinegar. And I'm just going to spray this on here. And you'll see it start to bubble up. I like using a spray bottle instead of just pouring it on, because it'll give it a little bit more time to react before it washes away. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and just pour some water and wash this all away. It's reacted enough. Smells like a salad right now. Did a really good job. And when we install the new battery, we're going to do a couple things to help prevent or alleviate the fluffy corrosion and copper sulfur oxide from coming up. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and get my tools, and we'll pull those battery cables off. Alright, so we've got an 11mm on this side for our negative terminal. Okay, come right off. And then on this side is 13mm. Alright, so both of them are off. On the Mercedes, they take a clamp, but this clamp is not on here, so we should just be able to pull the battery right out. And there we go. All right, so here we go. And this is a group size 49. It's got 850 cold cranking amps. All right, so here we are. We've got our new battery from AutoZone. And before I install it, I'm going to check the impedance of the battery. This is much better than checking just voltage, and it's much better than checking this on a load tester. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and turn this on. All right, so it wants me to enter the cold cranking amps, and on this battery it is 900. So we'll just choose that. Now it's testing the resistance. It's putting a microcurrent through there. It's telling me that the battery is 12.92 volts and the resistance is 2.74 milliohms. That is very, very good. The least resistance on a battery, the better. So we know the battery checks out good. Even though it's brand new, you can still have batteries that have sat around a while and are not in good shape. So in addition to the battery, I'm going to be using some of the fiber rings that we're going to put on there just to try to eliminate a little bit of corrosion, and we'll be using a little bit of grease. Okay, so I've got the battery in here. I've got my 2 wrenches that I'm going to need to reattach the cables. I've got our fiber protectors that we're going to use. We're going to use one for the positive side, one for the negative. But before we do that, we're going to need to clean the battery terminals here, or the cables. And I'm going to use a simple brush. This has a side for the cable itself. It's just steel. It's like a piece of really tight steel wool. And you want to clean it till it's shiny. Now if we were doing battery maintenance, we would have some for the top. There is some same thing in here. We'll just do it anyway. So you can clean both sides. This should be in everybody's toolbox. Okay, so that side is clean, and we're going to just do this side. Please don't skip this simple step. You really need to have a very clean, shiny surface to have the best possible electrical contact with the battery. Okay. Next, we're going to take our red fiber disc and place that there. On the positive side, we'll take our green and put it on the negative. Now, if you get these, they usually come with a little pack of dielectric grease. You can also use this. This is 3M silicone paste. This is dielectric grease. You can use this for brakes, for electrical connections, and the like. And we're going to go ahead. I'm going to open this if I can without cutting it. There we go. Make a mess everywhere. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to spread some on the terminal and then inside the cable connector. And this just helps prevent future corrosion. It doesn't look like there's enough in this package, but there's plenty. You could actually do a couple batteries with this if you needed to. But it's pretty much the same stuff that's in there. I'm going to put a little bit on the bottom of the clamp itself, just because I'm going to throw this away and I don't want to throw away any of the paste. Okay, you can put it on the top. It does nothing but good. Alright, so the way that you hook a battery up is you always want to hook the negative side up last. So we will go ahead and put this on. And then we'll go ahead and put the negative side on. Okay, we've got everything done. Now all there's left to do is to see if it starts. Wow. All right, so while we're here, we're going to check to see if the alternator is charging. So I'm going to set this again to on my voltage, 20 volts, and remember the voltage on the battery when it was just off the car was, I think, 12.93. So hopefully this will be high 13s or so voltage, excuse me, with it running if the alternator is working. So let's see. It's charging a little high at 15.4 volts. So the voltage regulator inside the alternator may be defective. This is really too high. You don't want it to charge that high. 14 volts, maybe a little over, but we'll have to look into that. But the good news is it runs, and actually runs really nice. All right, so I'm going to let this, I'm going to go ahead and end the video here, and I'm going to go ahead and let this run for a little while. I'm going to have to make it check all the fluids, and the next video, well, we'll see. I'll see what we need to do next on our list, and we'll get to it. But guys, I appreciate you being here with me. I've wanted to start this for quite a while, and well, we did it together. So 5 years sitting out here, and it's not even smoking. So anyway, thank you for your viewership. If you haven't subscribed, please do so, and hit that little bell icon next to the subscribe button so you will not miss any content. And I will see you guys on the next video.